What's going on, my broskies? Welcome back to the Brostones channel, and probably my favorite update of the year. I don't know if you can top this one, Fanatech, but I challenge you to top this one. They added the Yak-9, which is my favorite plane. It's lightweight, it's nimble, and it's strong, just like me. That's why it's my favorite plane. It's also Russian, just like me. Favorite plane. Yes. Alright, sweet. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and just do this Yak-9 review. This plane is epic. So let's talk about what you get upon purchase of this plane. I believe this plane cost me 4,500 gold, which is, it's quite pricey, but it is quite a really good plane, so I can understand the price. They put a lot of detail into this plane, a lot of effort. The cockpit's insane. You get 3 skins with it, and you get some pretty insane armaments, okay? So I definitely say it's worth the gold price for sure. It's definitely worth 4,500 gold. This plane will take you a very long distance. However, you do have to buy the predecessor, the Yak-1. I don't know if they're going to make that an XP plane, but I believe that plane costs 3,000 gold. So to get this plane, you're going to have to spend 7,500 gold, which is not too bad considering that the Focke-Wulf 190A3 used to cost that much. So yeah, anyways, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the new skins you get with this plane. So you do get the standard winter camo, which you've seen on the Yak-1B before. You also get a standard summer camo, which you've definitely seen before. It also came with the Yak-1B. But now there's a new one, the gray skin, or the gray camo, whatever you want to call it. It kind of looks blue to me, but it's gray, trust me. And this one's pretty cool. It's just good for all maps, so it's just a good skin to bring into arcade or something like that, or you can even do it on the snow map here. Just works well everywhere, and it looks pretty sick as well. So yeah, you do get those kind of neat features, the new skins and stuff to unlock. Gives you something to spend your XP on. But what else do you get with this plane? Well, you do get a few armament upgrades, and you also do get an engine upgrade. Quite a significant engine upgrade too from the Yak-1B. You'll get an additional 390 horsepower, which makes quite a significant difference. You may be cruising at like 100 kilometers per hour faster, and your acceleration has increased also by quite a lot. You might be cruising at around 600 kilometers per hour, and you're going to be diving quite a lot faster than that too. Although you're going to start locking up at around that area. It doesn't lock up quite as soon as the Yak-1B does, but it still turns best at low speeds, so make sure you're not going too fast when engaging in turn fights. Yeah, so I think it locks up at around 600 to 660 kilometers per hour, which is quite a lot faster. So you're able to dive on a lot of German planes and stuff like that. Although when it comes down to turning and stuff, I'd still recommend staying at quite low speeds, less than 400 kilometers per hour. Maybe even 500 kilometers per hour, you might be able to pull something off. But it's kind of weird right now how the turning works. I actually looked up some of this data because I wanted to make sure WAD got it right. And I'm not 100% sure on how the German planes turn with the Yak-9s. Just from what I could see, they were out turning me in a lot of instances. Maybe it's because I was going faster than I thought it was. I don't know. But the Yak-9 should have no problem out turning German planes below 4,000 meters. And after we get above 4,000 meters to around 6,000 meters, it's kind of even. And then 6,000 meters plus, the 109 should have the advantage. But right now, the 109G just basically sticks with the Yak-9 on the deck, which is kind of lame, I guess. If the 109 has a lot of speed, it can pretty much just turn with the Yak-9. Which is not how it's supposed to be. Even if they're going really fast, it just doesn't work like that. Unless the Yak-9's like locking up and stuff, which it shouldn't be in a turn fight. But due to its energy retention, it for some reason is. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so hopefully they can fix the 109, because it's kind of broken right now. It's kind of, in my opinion, it's overpowered. I know it's definitely killable, but I think its turning capabilities are a bit too much. And maybe I'm wrong about this. If I'm wrong about it, just let me know. But I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be able to turn like that without stalling out eventually or something like that. I mean, it doesn't roll or anything if you pull too hard. It's just kind of like with the newer planes, the newer damage model planes. If you pull too hard, it'll stall out. But with the 109G, it just doesn't stall out. And shouldn't be like that. So hopefully that can get fixed eventually. But let's talk about the armaments of this plane. Probably one of the most exciting things about it. So you can either equip the 12.7mm machine gun and the 37mm cannon, or you can upgrade it to a 20mm cannon and a 45mm cannon for ultimate destruction. Although your ammo will be quite limited with both of them. I believe you're only going to get 120 rounds of the 20mm and only 29 rounds of the 45mm. So you really got to make each shot count. And if you don't, then you're going to run out of ammo and you're going to be screwed. So just make sure you make each shot count. I'm not 100% sure yet if equipping heavier payloads is going to slow you down, although I'd imagine it would. So maybe there might be some reason to use the 37 millimeter. I think personally I'd use it for extra ammo because the 37 millimeter is usually enough to secure the kill anyways. It only takes like 1 or 2 of them to take down just a regular fighter. For bombers, it might take a few more. 45 millimeter just pretty much one-shots everything. I don't care where you hit them. It's pretty much a one-shot. I've never not one-shotted anyone with a 45 millimeter unless it's some kind of like Wi-Fi bug, or maybe they lost a piece of their plane but they kept flying. I don't know. It's quite devastating, and that 20 millimeter cannon does quite a lot of damage as well. So it's definitely something to consider. It's probably even worth just using your 20 millimeter cannon and then waiting until you're very close to an opponent or something, and then switching to the 45. Totally up to you and how you want to do it. The 45 millimeter is also great for taking out ground targets. You're going to be pretty much one-shotting ground targets as well, except for like the heavier tanks and stuff. It's just really effective, and not to mention very fun. So highly recommend this plane. I don't know if any other planes have 45 millimeter cannons. I think the Tojo Ki-44 Tojo, or Toyo, however you pronounce it, pretty sure that one has the 40 millimeter cannons, but these 45 millimeter cannons are a lot more fun. As for payload, you can't attach any bombs to it, so you're going to have to rely on that 45 millimeter cannon to take out ground targets. Although I wouldn't really recommend it because it's a lot more fun to shoot down aircraft with it. But if you really want to shoot down some tanks or trucks or AA guns or whatever you want to shoot down, definitely works as well as a replacement. Kind of like changing out the Stuka bombs for the 37 millimeter cannons. But it's all dependent on your playstyle. I think I'm going to be running some tests in the future, especially for future videos on the Yak-9, just to see the performance changes and stuff, and like different armaments, and see if maybe find the best strategies for the Yak-9, because it is definitely a whole new playstyle compared to the previous factions in the game. You really got to think about, you know, your turning abilities and your speed, because it's a lot more different than just turn and burn. You can't just turn and burn with this thing. You also have to use your energy wisely. I definitely say it's a little bit more tricky to fly the Yak-9 compared to other planes, but once you figure it out, it can be one of the best planes in the game probably. Alright, so let's talk about its durability. The plane's actually quite durable. It's quite rugged. I don't think it was in real life so much, but in this game it's quite durable and rugged. Even though it's a wooden frame and stuff, it can tank it out pretty well. Doesn't like rip apart on you that easily in WAD. You can go way above the maximum speed and do pretty well before it starts tearing up. I think that was part of the update where they reduced that effect. But yeah, the Yak-9 was known to have a problem to where if you got caught in a dive, your control stick would kind of get locked up and you wouldn't be able to get out of it. You'd just kind of rip apart and smash into the ground. Not so much in Wings of Duty, but that isn't for all the planes either, so it doesn't happen too often, regardless for any of the planes. So it's not like anything special for the Yak-9, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it's quite durable. You're going to get shot a lot, and you're going to tank it out fairly easily. You're not going to be smoking that much. The only thing I did notice is that you're going to catch on fire a lot more than you think you might. For some reason, I noticed I just caught on fire a lot in this plane. I don't know if I caught on fire in any of this footage, but when I hopped in like arcade mode to get like a quick match in or something, I just catch on fire or something. But I did notice you survived for quite a long time while on fire. I almost got a few kills while on fire, actually. I lasted so long. And the engine keeps going, so, I mean, even if you're on fire, you're still going to be one death machine or something. As for the ergonomics of this plane, you have a pretty nice rear view visibility. Has some bullet-resistant glass panes behind you, so you're quite safe in there. You also have some bars on the front of the plane, which kind of help not to shatter the glass everywhere. Although it doesn't really make that much of a difference in WAD. But you do have some pretty good visibility, which is important. You also have your fuel gauges on the wings, so make sure you keep track of that. The plane does eat fuel pretty fast, actually. A lot faster than the Yak-1B, I think. Although you're probably going to run out of ammo before you run out of fuel, so it's not something too much to worry about. But I did run out of fuel once, so keep that in mind. I don't run out of fuel that often, but I did. So that means it eats up fuel pretty decently fast. But those fuel gauges should help you out by quite a bit. If you don't know where your speedometer and altitude monitor, I don't even know what it's freaking called. Yeah, anyways, if you don't know where your altitude thing is, it's right above the speed. I guess if you don't know where they are, basically it's on the left side of your, I should probably show something to show you guys. It's on the left side of your control bar. You have your altitude just right above the speed one. Just, you'll find it, trust me. And yeah, you got your temperature gauges, your tilt gauges, all that stuff. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really work that well. Alright, let's get into some general tips on how to dogfight. I want to make a more in-depth video on how to dogfight once I figure it out for sure. But what's been working for me right now is just literal boom and zoom and just using your turning advantage. Just climb up to a decent altitude, higher than the Germans, dive on them, hit them with like 145mm cannon, and just win the dogfight then and there. And if you miss, do it again. And if they want to turn with you, turn with them at low speeds. Don't turn at high speeds because it's kind of broken right now. So yeah, that's pretty much how you win every single dogfight with this thing. This is me complaining that I can't outturn them anywhere above 400 kilometers per hour at low altitude, which shouldn't be the case, but I think it is the case. It's kind of weird. I don't know if realistic and historic mode are different, but I'm noticing that realistic mode, I feel like I turn slower. Maybe it's just me who feels like I turn slower, but I do. And maybe I don't know if the physics are any different or not. If you guys could let me know in the comments below. But hopefully this review gives you a little bit more insight on the Yak-1B or Yak-9. This is not a Yak-1B. Repeat, this is not a Yak-1B. This is a Yak-9. Hopefully you gain some more insight. Hopefully this helps you make your decision on purchasing this plane. I think it's a really cool plane. I mean, it is my favorite plane in the world. Like, this is my favorite plane. So that's definitely why I got it. But if it's not your favorite plane, maybe there's another one that's better suited for you. So yeah, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs up. And if you really hated it, make sure you comment down below. And if you really liked it, do the same, comment down below. But yeah, that's just my general tips on the plane and stuff. Just boom and zoom, turn, whatever it takes. And here's a dogfight right now. So let's go ahead and just analyze what I did. I actually had to purposely lower my speed here so that I could outturn him. And even then, I don't think it worked out too well. So then I just tried just using flaps and stuff, I guess. I don't know. I just figured I could eventually outturn them. I mean, you can stick with me forever, right? Wrong. Wrong. They will always stick with you forever unless they pull off or something like he did for some reason. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn back into him at a ridiculously slow speed here. And he's going to take some more shots, and then I'm going to start rolling. And my speed's pretty much shot at this point. So now I'm just pretty much in a rolling scissors, which you don't win too many of these fights just because the 109G just doesn't stall out as easily as the Yak-9 does for some reason, which is totally unrealistic. So yeah, I got pretty lucky with this kill here. It's a pretty crazy shot. You wouldn't think you could make this shot, but I did somehow. Just watch this shot. Oh wait, no, it's not this shot. You guys already saw the shot. This one, of course I can make this one. I made a pretty cool shot later, but yeah. Most fights don't end like that. This was a really weird dog fight. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.